Hey cat lovers, and welcome back to the Purring Journal, the channel where we love to talk about cats. With Halloween and the holiday season just around the corner, many families want to include their pets in the festivities. While dressing your cat up as a spooky bat or a Christmas reindeer may seem like an adorable idea at first, it actually does much more harm than good. In this video, we'll discuss why you should never put your cat in a costume, as well as some safer, more cat-friendly alternatives to celebrate the holidays without sacrificing your cat's comfort. If you enjoy learning about cat facts, behaviors, tips, and more, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. Now let's get started. Number 1. It restricts their movements. From jumping onto tall shelves to stretching out on the scratching post, cats use their full range of motion in their day-to-day lives. They're also very flexible, with bodies uniquely adapted to allow for increased mobility and elasticity. This is a result of centuries of evolution, as they've adapted to hunt prey and evade predators. However, costumes, especially full-body costumes, can severely limit this movement. This type of clothing can restrict their movement and easily lead them to feeling trapped or restrained. Costumes can quickly go from cute to absolutely terrifying to your cat, because they feel like they can't escape. Further, cats are very sensitive animals, and they rely on all their senses to get an understanding of the world around them. Costumes can severely impact their ability to get a read on their environment. This can be incredibly uncomfortable and often anxiety-inducing for cats, as it can significantly limit their senses and ability to navigate the world around them. Cats in costumes can easily experience sensory overload and react with fear, anger, and stress. They may lash out, run around, or attempt to hide. They may also desperately try to get the costume off, even hurting themselves in the process. Number 2. It causes discomfort. Costumes are not only confining and restrictive, but they can also cause physical discomfort. Your cat's nails, teeth, and whiskers can get caught in the costume. Depending on the material, your cat's claws might get snagged, or even worse, their whiskers might even get crushed. Whiskers are their primary means of both understanding the world around them and communicating with others. A costume might severely limit your cat's ability to do both, effectively cutting them off from their environment. Your cat might also experience whisker fatigue, which occurs when their whiskers are overstimulated. Even light touches can even cause whisker fatigue, let alone a restrictive costume. This is not only uncomfortable, but even dangerous, since cats rely so heavily on their senses to navigate their environment. Not to mention, many costumes can irritate the skin and lead to rashes, friction burns, and itchiness. Cats aren't meant to wear clothing, and the fabric might irritate their skin as a result. Excessive wear could even lead to hair loss and damage to the skin. Plus, many costumes are improperly fitting. They are either too small or too tight or too loose, and will get caught on things or trip your cat. Number 3. It can be a choking hazard. Costumes are not only psychologically and emotionally damaging, but they can also threaten your cat's physical safety. Your cat may chew on or gnaw at the costume, especially if they are trying to get it off, and swallow something they shouldn't in the process. Many costumes feature attachments and accessories, like sequins, bells, buttons, or other small ornaments, that can easily come off. If swallowed, these items could get lodged in your cat's throat and block their airways, or they could cause damage to their digestive tract. Plus, many cat costumes are too small and physically restrictive. They may make it difficult for your cat to breathe properly, or your cat could get tangled in them trying to escape. Number 4. It interferes with temperature regulation. Humans sweat to regulate our body temperature, cooling down our bodies through the process of evaporation. Cats, on the other hand, do not rely on sweating as a primary means of regulating their temperature. Instead, they use other techniques like panting, moving to cooler or warmer environments, or importantly, grooming. By licking at their fur, cats can aid with heat distribution and evaporation, which helps cool them down. Costumes, by covering their fur, are preventing grooming, therefore interfere with the cat's ability to properly regulate their temperature. This can quickly lead to overheating and discomfort. Temperature regulation is very important, and overheating can have a significant impact on your cat's health and safety. As such, any costume that limits a cat's ability to groom themselves, or that covers their skin and fur, pose a threat to their well-being and should be avoided. Number 5. It's for your enjoyment, not theirs. Even though your cat dressed as a turkey for Thanksgiving might make for a super cute Instagram post, you need to remember that it's for your enjoyment, often at the expense of theirs. Even with all the best intentions, you are still prioritizing your own amusement over your cat's well-being by choosing to put them in a costume. After all, your cat has no concept of holidays or seasonal festivities, so they have no idea why you are forcing them to wear a costume that is uncomfortable and anxiety-inducing. Forcing your cat to do anything, let alone wear a physically restrictive and overwhelming costume, can lead to significant damage to your bond. It could put a strain on your relationship and weaken their trust in you, which is a hard thing to earn in the first place. It is simply not worth it to jeopardize your relationship with your cat for a costume, no matter how cute it might be. There are plenty of wholesome ways to celebrate the holidays, but dressing up your cat is not one of them. Festive alternatives to costumes. Even though you shouldn't put your cat in a costume or clothing, that doesn't mean that they can't celebrate the holidays or special times of the year with you. There are plenty of cat-safe alternatives so you and your cat can celebrate the festive season without sacrificing their comfort or safety. Festive collars are a great option as they are minimally invasive while losing none of the fun and festive spirit. There are some great varieties of decorative collars with seasonal variations so you can change things up. Just be sure not to get a collar with obstructive attachments or parts that can easily get dislodged or swallowed by your cat. Always choose a breakaway collar for your cat. These are designed to release if the collar gets caught on something, preventing choking or injury. Additionally, if your cat seems uncomfortable in the collar or they are exhibiting anxious behavior, make sure to take it off and opt for something different. As we discussed earlier, it's important to remember that the decorative flair is just for you. It doesn't make any difference to your cat whether the collar is pumpkin themed or pink for Valentine's Day. So you should make sure that whatever changes you make to your cat's appearance to celebrate the holiday are comfortable for them. Bandanas are also a great alternative, and they are a safe, comfortable, and festive way of upping your cat's wardrobe without the drawback of a traditional costume. As bandanas are becoming more popular, they are more widely available at pet shops. Plus, they come in a variety of different patterns and colors for every occasion. Ensure that the bandanas are properly fitted, soft, and lightweight. They should not be restrictive, tight, or get in the way of grooming. Make sure the bandana is attached to a breakaway collar for safety, so your cat won't be at risk of choking if it gets caught on something. If your cat is exhibiting signs of stress like pawing at the bandana, excessively meowing, or showing other signs of anxiety or fear, a bandana is not a good option for them. When putting it on, give your cat plenty of time to become familiar with it, let them sniff it, get their scent on it, and become comfortable with it before you attempt to put it on. Otherwise, they might be more hesitant or even scared. You can also use treats while putting it on to make it more of a positive experience to get your cat to associate the bandana with a reward. Observe your cat for any signs of stress and ensure that the bandana does not get in the way of any of their functions, trip them, or pose a choking hazard. Some cats might not like the feeling of something around their neck, or they may be opposed to even the more cat-friendly alternatives to costumes, and if this is the case, you can include them in your celebrations through other ways than accessorizing. You can get them festive gifts, treats, or simply spend more time with them around the special times of year. Your priority should always be your cat's comfort and safety. How to tell if a clothing item is cat-friendly. In general, you should avoid putting your cat in any type of clothing. This includes sweaters, jackets, onesies, dresses, and costumes. Anything that restricts their movement, covers their skin, or interferes with their ability to groom should be avoided entirely. As a side note, one exception is hairless cats, like the Sphinx. They may need lightweight sweaters or shirts to help maintain body warmth, especially during colder months or the spooky season. You should also avoid anything that limits their senses, including items that obscure their face, touch their whiskers, or cover their eyes or ears. Always prioritize your cat's well-being, which means almost all clothing items are to be avoided, as your cat will almost always be more comfortable without them. Even clothing advertised as lightweight, breathable, or specialized is typically uncomfortable for cats. As discussed, the constant contact with fabric, no matter how soft, is restrictive. The only practical expectations are non-invasive items like collars or bandanas, but even these should avoid attachments or features that may become choking hazards. Overall, it is best to avoid clothing and costumes altogether. Even if some cats tolerate clothing better than others, it can still be detrimental to their well-being, so it's simply not worth it, no matter how cute the outfit looks. Can you put dogs in costumes? Even though costumes should be avoided for cats, that doesn't mean that none of your pets in your household can wear festive outfits. Dogs are generally much more tolerant of clothing and costumes than cats, and they are more likely to adapt to and be comfortable wearing clothing. They are less likely to find it restrictive, especially since dogs are much less flexible and have smaller range of movements than cats. Cats are also considered to be more sensitive than dogs, especially when it comes to sensory input, so they find clothing to be much more of an interruption than dogs do. However, it's still important to ensure that the clothing or costumes are properly fitted, not too tight or too loose, and do not interfere with your dog's day-to-day activities. You should also watch out for choking hazards and make sure to observe your dog's reactions to the costume. While most dogs find costumes tolerable, not every dog is the same. If your dog seems uncomfortable or stressed, opt for the alternatives we discussed previously, like a festive bandana or collar. Although the costume section at the pet store might seem tempting, it is best to skip it. But if you really want to feature your cat as Santa Claus on your Christmas card, there's always Photoshop. As always, we would love to hear your thoughts and comments below. And if you found this guide helpful, we invite you to check out one of these PAWSOME videos next. We'll see you there, cat lovers.